All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to connect one of the biggest shifts happening in tech to something that's on a lot of our minds, our own career strategy. If you've been wondering how to navigate the next decade, especially with all the experience you've already got under your belt, well, you are in exactly the right place. So, this is the question, right? It's on everybody's mind. And honestly, it can feel a little daunting. Like there's this giant wave coming, and we're all just standing there. But what if I told you that the wave itself is changing and that it's creating this perfect opportunity for you to, build your own surfboard and ride it? That's what we're going to get into today. Here's the game plan. We'll start with the huge change that's happening right now. Then we'll see how it just completely rewrites the rules of what's valuable. After that, we'll uncover why you, as an individual, have this unique edge. And we'll wrap it up with a concrete action you can take. Sound good? Okay, section one. So, for the last couple of years, we've all gotten used to thinking of AI as this brilliant assistant, right? Something that can research, brainstorm, help you write an email. But that's kind of last year's model. The next big thing, the real shift, is AI moving from being an assistant to being an operator. And listen, this is not some far-off sci-fi prediction. Just look at this. The biggest names in the game, we're talking OpenAI, Microsoft, NVIDIA, they're all pivoting their entire strategy around this right now. They're rebuilding their platforms. They're not just trying to build better chatbots anymore. They are building AI that takes action. And this, right here, this is the core idea in a nutshell. We are moving way past AI that just spits out text. The new frontier is AI that can actually execute tasks, interact with software, and have a direct effect on the world. It's a fundamental change in its job description. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, that brings us to our second section, from thinking to doing. Let's break down how this totally changes the entire workflow as we know it. Think about AI's evolution in these 4 steps. We've pretty much mastered the first 2, right? AI can read just insane amounts of information, and it can write summaries, emails, even code. But the real revolution, it's in steps 3 and 4. AI is now being given the power to make decisions based on what it sees. And then this is the crucial part, to actually do something about it, to execute a stock trade or update a customer database or launch a marketing campaign. That is the game changer. So if AI can act, that completely rewrites the rules of what's actually valuable. It means the skills and the assets that we need to be focused on have to change too. Here's the first new rule. It used to be all about which model was the smartest, the one that had the most facts baked into it. That's over. Now capability comes from access to tools. So the best AI agent isn't the one that knows the most. It's the one that's the most connected to real-world data, to systems, to APIs. And the second big rule change is the work cycle itself. We're moving from this simple, one-off thing where you give a command, you get a response, and you're done. We're moving to a continuous, autonomous loop. So this isn't a consultant you call for a single task anymore. This is like an employee that is always on, always monitoring, always ready to act, and always learning from what it does. And that brings us to this really key term, persistent agents. This is where it's all headed. We are building AI systems that you don't just run, you kind of hire. They work for you 24/7 in the background, just generating value all on their own. I mean, just think for a second. What could you build if you had a tireless digital worker at your command? Now, hearing all this, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like it's just for giant corporations with massive budgets. But this is where the story gets really, really interesting. This shift actually creates a huge and probably temporary advantage for individuals. Let's talk about your unfair advantage. Let's just break this down. Big institutions, they're always going to win on scale. But you, the individual, you have what's called the retail edge. You have agility. While some huge company is spending months in meetings just to approve a project, you can build a specific agent for a specific problem that you understand deeply from your years of experience. That expertise, combined with your speed and your focus, well, that's your unfair advantage. So this is the really crucial point. Don't even try to compete on scale. Your power is in your ability to spot a valuable action and then build an agent to go perform it. Right now, today. This is the great equalizer. So, how do you even start? Let's turn all of this theory into a concrete, actionable step you can take. And really, it is simpler than you think. The way you begin is you give your agent a real tool. Don't just ask it to write something for you, ask it to do something. Connect it to a weather API and tell it to text you if it's going to rain tomorrow. Have it read a number from a database. Let it run a simple script. The real magic happens when you let the agent decide when to use that tool. That right there, that's your first step toward building an autonomous worker.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? This is the upgrade we are all living through. The value is shifting from output to action, from thinking to executing.
So, let's end on this thought. The whole conversation needs to change. That fear-based question, will an AI take my job? It's quickly becoming obsolete. The real and frankly much more empowering question for your career and for your future is this: what job will I create for my AI? Because in this new world, the people who build, direct, and manage these autonomous agents, they're the ones who are going to hold all the keys.